Unfortunately, earlier this week, the internet in my apartment was gone. It was a dark and horrifying experience not being able to catch up with whine about it. But I'm better now and was able to watch the VOD. Thanks for asking. Shortly before my internet decided to burn down, however, I started playing csgo again. Not that I was ever really in, but over the past 10 years of me owning it, I played a staggering 70 hours. Not because I don't enjoy it, but because I simply never understood its gameplay very much. And with it mainly being an esports title nowadays, my interest was fading. And yet it always had this interesting aura. Counter-Strike is the World of Warcraft of first-person shooters, with so much of gaming's history in its bones. I couldn't live with myself not giving it more of a shot, especially since I enjoyed its predecessor, Counter-Strike Source, very much. At least the custom servers most of the time. So I set out on the great gaming adventure to become the very best CSGO has ever seen. Well, not quite yet, but you get my point. And then at the peak of my performance, I was disconnected from the rest of the world. Destined to play games alone with nobody to join my lobbies. At least until I rediscovered an old friend of my childhood that I shared many joyful experiences with. Bots. In today's multiplayer and always online focused gaming space, bots seem to not play a big role at all. At least right now. I pity every multiplayer game out there that doesn't allow full bot support. Because sooner or later, there might not be enough players left to sustain an active player base. Something that even PUBG and Fortnite realized, which made them add bots in the normal gameplay flow. Or Titanfall that had AI running around to make the maps feel more like a battlefield and act as cannon fodder. And even though this is part of it, what I'm talking about is full support for bots. Being able to start a match with the rest of the lobby being filled with non-players and allowing for a solo experience in multiplayer games. Luckily, CSGO allows for exactly that experience. And don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. They're not particularly smart either. But just like emulation, bots are another way to preserve games that otherwise wouldn't be playable anymore. What if nobody played Counter-Strike anymore? Or you want to play an old Call of Duty game? You might be able to find a match, but depending on your time zone, location, and game choice, I wouldn't bet on it. They can also serve as a way of getting players engaged and having fun without having to compete against others. I like PvP games, don't get me wrong, but the constant focus on ranking up and sweating to win every single game is just exhausting and uninteresting to me. I don't play CSGO to get a shiny rank. I play it for the gameplay, believe it or not, and bots are a perfectly viable choice to experience that. I still prefer real opponents in a casual environment, but I appreciate that they exist and are eagerly awaiting my return. And return I will. Dota 2 features bot support on another level, allowing the community to write their own scripts for them. And they're also a great way to introduce new players to it. There's no pressure to play a full game, and you won't get any toxic messages. They'll play the game with you the way you want to. I like bots. Even back in my Call of Duty days, I remember booting up bot games just for fun, every now and then. It helped me to relax or cool down from a stressful gaming session. And I'm excited that there are still developers that think of them as a valuable asset. To either bolster and support the features of the game while it's still thriving, like for Halo Infinite, or to fill the gaps players left. Whenever Forge for Halo Infinite finally releases, I will spend so much time in it again. Because now I don't have to wait for enough friends to be online to test my newly created map. I can play it whenever I want. That's why I love bots, and I very much believe that every game could benefit from their presence. They're not the heroes we deserve, but the ones we need. And they're also terrible, so until next time.